Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's gonna open in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Good. Looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Good. Looks like we are good to go. All right. So I got a few moments for people to make their way in. As people join into the room, I'm going to go ahead and start market liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. So let's start off with this right here. So let's start off with these higher highs. Higher high, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. And now the high lows. All right, let's go. Let's go over to the daily time frame. Going down to the 4 hour. Right there. Right there. Going down to the 2 hour. Whole bunch right here. So we got a lot of liquidity sitting right here that hasn't been touched yet. Eventually it'll probably get knocked out over the next couple of weeks, if not months. Let me color this red. Lower low, higher high. Let's go over to the 1 hour. Start from the lower end. High low right there. One more right there. Let's see. Going down to the 30-minute. High low right there. Going over to the 15-minute. High low, high low. Lastly, the 10-minute over here. I don't think there's very much left. Yeah, it looks like everything's marked up. All right, so we have all of the liquidity marked up right here. I'm going back down to the 1 minute. So looking at this right now, currently, I don't see any close. Actually, I mean, it's not super far. So the upper level right here is about 500 pips away, and the lower level down here is about 700 pips away. So with that said, we have the closest level of liquidity above here at 33,939 for a possible buy. And then we have lower level down here at 33,813 for a sell. All right, we got liquidity marked up, guys. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's gonna open in about 5 minutes. We'll see, market opens here today, as today's like the official first day of market open. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend. If you guys saw the stuff that's going on in the Middle East with regard to Israel, there's just a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes, and today is Track Tuesday. So just keep that in mind, guys. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently Wall Street. It's pretty much neutral right now. It's currently 54% long, so it's pretty neutral for the most part. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently 95 points in the green. So they're like, sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry guys, dogs are barking. Let's see. So looking over here at the fundamentals are currently at 99 points. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, it's pretty much neutral. So there's not really much of a bias right now with regard to retail sentiment. So long term, we're not really sure where price is going to go. But short term right now, it looks like price, even short term right now, we can't really tell because it can easily turn the other way on open. Looking over here at the news for today, there was some news at 3 o'clock. It was an NFIB business optimism index. It was negative. And that's pretty much it. So there was news at 3 o'clock and 5:55. I'm going to go and mark that up real quick. Let's see, 3 o'clock and 5:55. There, 3 o'clock. 5:55 would be right over. So the news is actually like right next to each other, not super far from each other. Right there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, there's like a war going on in Israel right now. So like that's gonna affect the US because the US is, if you guys have been following politics, we kind of protect Israel, or the opposite, right? I think Trump before was doing more so protecting versus now Biden is doing the opposite and kind of helping Iran, where I think there was a news event where they or there was like some news articles where he unfroze like 6 million or 6 billion of their funds, and they've been using that towards the war. So I don't know. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens in the next 2 minutes. But yeah, like what Daniel over here said, he said that stuff's crazy. They recorded themselves flying in and killing people and posted it. Yeah, it's crazy. There's just a crazy war going on in the Middle East, guys, and obviously the US here butts into everything. So it's going to affect us one way or another. If you guys saw the news this morning, there's some breaking news that a lot of congressmen were they're buying into a lot of war stocks. So that's usually what happens when we start to go into war or there's some turmoil going on in the Middle East. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. We didn't have a trading day yesterday due to the holiday. 6:29 right now. Market's going to open in about 30 seconds. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Randy. Morning, CJ. Morning, Karen. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Surin. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Marcin. Morning, everybody. So market is opening shortly in about 20 seconds. We'll see what happens here when market opens. But again, you might want to be a little careful with the open today, because a lot of stuff has happened over the weekend. So we'll see what happens here. You can see a big push to the upside right here, but price can come all the way back down. So looking over here at the technicals, looks like price is pretty much bullish right now across the board. So short term, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, all bullish. You can see over here on the 30 minute, 1 hour and 4 hour, all bullish as well. But look at how price is moving here on open. It's doing exactly what I mentioned, where I said be careful because price can easily just come crashing right back down here on open and be highly manipulated. So you guys can see how this candle is currently moving, huge spike to the downside. It's doing the opposite of what it was doing pretty much for the last hour. So you want to just be careful here because this can just swing right back up. It'll either, price is going to choose the direction at some point. We don't know when or how, but eventually it will choose a direction. And once that direction is chosen, we'll start to look for trades in that direction as well. So we just got to be patient, wait for the market to stabilize a bit. Whenever something happens like this over the weekend, you definitely want to just sit tight and wait for everything to kind of just settle out. So here's the clean chart. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But anyways, look at this huge spike to the downside, right? It did pretty much what I said to watch out for. I said price is probably going to spike all the way down on open, and that's exactly what happened here. I didn't necessarily predict it. I just kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen. Whenever you guys have like this weird movement, or whenever you guys have a big push and like something crazy happened over the weekend, typically what happens on open is the opposite. That's just like from my experience. I've traded how many opens and how many holidays and how many huge news events, and we've seen this happen time and time again. So it's all from experience, guys. It's not necessarily like I predicted it. It's just I've seen this happen before. And you know, this is usually what happens when stuff happens behind the scenes. So yeah, exactly. Sisuk said this should be interesting. There's been a lot of eyes on to see if they send out another rate hike. Yeah, it'll probably be, well, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I don't think this is Fed week. I think Fed week is next week, but let's check the calendar real quick. So check the calendar. So there's Fed speakers pretty much every day this week. I don't think this is necessarily, oh, actually it is. So we have FOMC minutes right here on Wednesday. So this might be Fed week. If it's not Fed week, next week is the official Fed week. But there is Fed speakers speaking every single day this week. So yeah, I don't think this is Fed week. I think there's a lot of Fed news, but it's not necessarily Fed week because there's just Fed FOMC minutes, but I don't think it's like the actual statement because I don't see Powell here speaking. Let me search real quick. Yeah, so Powell's not even speaking this week. I think they're just releasing a lot of Fed news. But Fed week is like next week. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, you guys can see prices starting to correct back up. This is kind of what we were expecting as well. None of the liquidity got hit yet. It's still kind of sitting right now. So we currently have a sell signal right here. This is actually the momentum counter scalp. I don't know if anybody was looking to take it, but this was the momentum counter scalp right here. It doesn't look like it played out. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have taken the trade. Trade's still technically running, but this here would be the counter scalp. You guys can see we had a sell signal right here on open, 2 green candles. This is the counter scalp that is currently running right now. Not a trade I would recommend taking. If you guys look down at the ATR, the volatility is actually extremely low right now. It's currently at 15. For the past week, it was like at 20 to 30. Now it's at 15. This is the momentum counter scalp, like we mentioned earlier. Not in this position. I will document it, but I'm not in the position. I'm waiting for the market to stabilize a little bit before I start to take any actual entries here. Yeah, so for example, your sell signal, 2 green candles, momentum counter scalp. If you get 2 red candles following that, that'll be the breakout V2. So the trade's still running. Again, I'm not in this position, guys, just a heads up. I'm not in anything right now. I'm just gonna wait for the market to kind of stabilize a little bit before I start looking for anything. But you guys can see a lot of back and forth movement right here for the momentum counter scalp, which close to TP, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit. I'm just drawing this up so that we can document it, you know, when it comes time. I'm going to start marking up the highs over here so that we could use this for the high-low V2, high-low scalp V2. I use this one for the 5-minute, so I'll just use this as well. There's technically a 5-minute running right now, it looks like, but we're not going to follow that one. We'll look at the next one coming up. All right, so looking at this over here. Let's see, Tommy's asking, am I the only one having the FTMO quick trade manager not working properly this morning? I changed lot size and stop loss TP. It doesn't update correctly. Let me see, I'm currently at 200. Let me change to 100. No, I mean, it works fine on mine. You might want to just turn it off and turn it back on, Tommy. It's usually like a computer issue. I know what you're talking about, though. I've had that issue before. You just have to click on it twice. You just have to set it in twice. No, it's a different Tommy. It's not Tommy. Tommy's in, he's in Japan right now. Yeah, he's not here. Yeah, Maddie keeping checks on Tommy. I don't think I don't think Tommy will be back anytime soon. Well, actually, no, Tommy might come back soon because Tommy, he just so Tommy was doing marketing for like Disney. He's now doing marketing for Twitter. So he works for Twitter now. He's like in their marketing department. He has a lot more free time. So he might come back and trade with us sometime soon. Yeah, Maddie said he gave up trying to get him back. Yeah, no, he starts his new job, I think, when he comes back from Japan. So he's gonna he's gonna have a lot more free time since he's working at Twitter now. They don't really do much marketing like he used to with Disney. All right, guys. So yeah, here's the momentum counter scalp. I didn't play through. Obviously, we weren't expecting it to play through because of how I mentioned the market would move here on open. So I'm going to go and just take the screenshot there. I'm going to put it down in our spreadsheet. I didn't take the trade, so obviously it's not going to count as an official trade, but I will put it here as the entry for today. So it looks like the momentum counter scalp hasn't necessarily been hitting very much. Let's see. Crazy movement on open. Heavy news over a weekend. So I mean, obviously I wouldn't have taken this trade here, but we are going to document it. This is the only way that we'll know if the strategy is very good or not, because I mean, this is the only way we could find out. So this was for a buy, that was for a loss, negative 250. So I didn't take this trade here. It's not going to count as an official trade, but we are putting it in our spreadsheet. As you guys can see over here, this is one of the strategies that we're testing. The only official strategy that we're technically taking is a momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2 if it comes up. So let's take a look at the, I couldn't tell if this was a red candle or not, this one. So there's still no breakout V2 yet. If we get 2 red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. And then from there, we're going to continue documenting that breakout V2. And then on top of that, we'll be looking at the intraday scalp. And then on top of that, we'll be looking at the high-low scalp V2. I'm just going to take off the high-low momentum scalp on open, and we're not going to take that. We've stopped testing that for the most part. We're now looking for entries here for these other strategies. So there's no breakout V2 yet. Again, if you guys are looking for the breakout V2, you're looking for 2 red candles to follow this sell momentum right here. So if you get 2 red candles, that's a breakout V2. If you get a buy signal and you get 2 green candles, and that's going to be the breakout V2. I'll keep trying to look for entries here, but it looks like the volatility is just kind of dead right now at the moment. You guys can see the ATR is actually very low. It's currently at 18. But it's starting to pick up a little bit. It's now back at 19. So let's see. Yeah, so Daniel said a high-low V2 just hit. So let me see. Yeah, the pivots haven't confirmed yet, so I wouldn't have taken it just yet. I'd wait for the pivots to actually confirm. I mean, even if it comes late, that's fine. But I want to make sure that we're actually trading in the direction of price and trend. So, but yeah, Daniel here identified this as an entry. Price broke below, faked out right here just for the pullback, and it came right back down. So the entry could have happened right here if you were looking to take it, but I mean, it just wouldn't meet criteria for me personally, so I wouldn't have taken it. There's always shortcuts that you guys can take, of course. Like you guys know that there's shortcuts that can be taken. For me personally, I want to know for sure if the trade's actually going that direction. So I would wait for confirmation of, you know, trend right here. So we'll see, you know, what happens next, but yeah, I'm just waiting for some confirmation here. So there's no need to force any trades early on in the session, guys. Like it's only 6:40 right now. We have like over an hour until, you know, 8 o'clock. We have an hour and a half still. Like it's like the session just started. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for some sort of confirmation. I'm looking for price to kind of come down. Look for the pivots here to confirm. So basically, if this red pivot goes across all the other pivots, so if you see all these, there's 4 pivots. There's a green, blue, orange, and red, right? Level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level 4 is going to be the strongest pivot, which would be this red pivot right here. I'm looking for all these pivots to be below it. So if it's below this red pivot, this is going to mean that price is bearish. You can see the trend meter here is turning red. So you can see it's starting to shift with it. I personally don't like using the trend meter as the this standalone trend because you can see how it changes very often. When it's red, it's bearish. When it's blue, it's neutral. When it's green, it's bullish. But you can see that when the pivots start to shift, that's when you know the confirmation is for sure. Like for example, here, you can see the trend meter was green, but the pivots didn't shift until like right here. So it was green for a while, but once it actually shifted, you can see it's very bullish at that point. So I'm looking for this red pivot here to cross, and it looks like it finally did. We currently now have a bearish bias. Well, not really bearish bias, a bearish trend. I'll put today's overall bias on the chart. So let me put the bias over here. Today's overall bias. So retail sentiment was neutral. It was like 54% long. Fundamentals were neutral as well. I'll put 50 points. Short-term technicals were bullish. Well, they might be neutral now. Let's take a look. So yeah, they're pretty much neutral right now because you can see over here on the 1 minute it's bearish, 5 minute is bearish, and 10 minute is attempting to be bearish. So we'll just put neutral right here. And lastly, long-term technicals are still bullish. They're bullish neutral. So you can see the 30-minute here is neutral, 1 hour is bullish, 4 hours bullish. We'll put bullish neutral. So there's not really much of a bias for today. This right here would be the breakout V2, guys. I don't know if anybody caught it. So it did exactly what we were looking for. So you can see we had a sell signal right here. I mentioned to look for 2 red candles. There's 2 red candles right here. So this right here would be the breakout V2. I wasn't looking to take it yet, guys. As you guys know, I'm still waiting for the market to stabilize here a bit. But you can see this one here did hit full TP. This would be the breakout V2. So another strategy that we're testing here. Before we make it a staple. It's not one of my favorites. It used to be one of my go-tos, but lately it hasn't been because of the current market conditions. So I'm gonna add this right here. Entry came up at about 640. I'm just gonna estimate it was a sell, win 250. I'll put the same notes over here because I think it's pretty much the same thing. It's not exactly the best strategy or not best time to take an entry. But this one did hit full TP. So looking at the strategies that we're testing, the momentum counter scalp did not hit TP, it hit stop loss. The breakout V2 hit TP. Again, if you guys are not familiar with the breakout V2, it doesn't matter because it's not one of our official strategies that we're applying, but it's one that we are testing. So for the breakout V2, you're looking for momentum on open or just momentum at all. Right here, we have a sell signal. Then you're looking for 2 following candles in that direction. So you get green candles here, 1 red candle, 1 red candle, 1 green candle, 2 red candles right here. And that'd be the entry for the breakout V2. So we documented that right there. I'll update the spreadsheet later with regard to the win-loss ratio. But for the most part, this right here is, this right here was the breakout V2. So we've pretty much tested 2 of our first strategies that we're looking to test, which would be the momentum counter scalp, breakout V2. And then the third one here is intraday scalp on open. So you're looking for basically a momentum signal to match the trend meter. We're currently in a bearish trend right now. So if we get another sell signal, that'd be the intraday scalp. But other than that, we'll be looking for other entries here as well. Those are strategies that we're testing. The official strategies that we're looking at would be the momentum pullback scalp. It's currently 644 right now. So the market is starting to stabilize here a little bit, as you guys can see. We're starting to have some sort of direction as price starts to climb down further and further. So if we continue to have this direction where price continues to climb down, then we'll be able to start looking for some sell entries here. You can see that price is very overextended right now. So it's not exactly the type of entry that I'd be looking for. If you measure from up here to down here, price is now down 1,240 pips. So it's pretty overextended at this point. What I'd look for next is I'd look for a retracement. So I'd look for a buy signal to retrace up, then continuation back to the downside. And when it comes down like that, that's where I'm going to make my entry for a sell right there. So I need price to retrace up first. I'm not looking to take anything right here. It's just moving a little too heavy right now. It's way too overextended. And I want price to pull back and then come back down. Looking over here at liquidity, if you guys took any of the levels here that I marked up, so I marked up these levels before market opened. As you guys can see, both of the levels here did get hit. So depending on which level you decided to take, both of them have gotten hit right there for a full TP. So yeah, if anybody here did look for the liquidity pushes, there's 2 entries right there that came up and they both hit TP. So I didn't take either of them, but I did mark these up, pre-market, so that you guys can have that in line for you guys. Here we go with this retracement that we were looking for. So this is exactly what I just marked up earlier. If you guys saw my markup right here, where's it at? So you guys saw my markup right here. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I need a retracement up and I need a correction back to the downside. All right, so the market is still moving a little heavy right now. Obviously, I'd look for this to kind of stabilize a bit before I look for any entries. See, there were a couple entries here that kind of lined up a little bit for the high-low scalp V2. If you guys are looking for some high-low scalp V2s, there's a whole bunch that came up right here, actually. Let's see, price broke right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one didn't meet criteria. There's another one that actually came up right here, but the trend didn't really confirm yet. So I'm not really going to look back at these because, again, like I mentioned, we were waiting for the trend here to confirm. This one here kind of lines up with it, but it wasn't very clear until like these later candles. So I think this is one that you saw, Maddie, right? How far did it drop down from? Let me see. Yeah, I didn't drop down all the way. I mean, it dropped down pretty close, but not all the way. Anyways, now that we have a bearish trend over here, we can start looking for some possible entries for a sell. So I'm gonna mark this up right there. These are already used up. All right, so I'm assuming we'll be looking for some sells here until like the trend shifts. So I go ahead and marked up a lower low right there. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a lower low or a higher low, just any high low below for the high low scalp. Now over here on the clean chart, I'm going to start marking up the levels. So let's start marking up the levels for the momentum pullback scalp. All right. So 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, the volatility is a lot lower compared to last week. If you guys remember last week, there was a ton of lines that we had, I mean, pretty much lined up everywhere. The lines here aren't as prevalent. There's just a couple here. ATR is currently at 21, so it's not very high, but it's also not too bad. It's decent right now. It's still above 15, so it's still what we're looking for. But the volatility here isn't as high as it was last week or the week before. Tommy's asking, did FTMO change the contract size? No, it's the same. It's a 1,000 lot. I don't think you use 1,000 lot. It's already capped at like, I mean, unless you have like $1 million account, I don't think you'll be able to use 1,000 lot. Or even at $1 million account, I don't think you can use 1,000 lot. I'm still using the 200 for the 200K and 100 for the 100K. All right, guys. So the market is starting to stabilize here a bit. So in order for us to have a momentum pullback scalp, we need to get a retracement signal. So you see how this green signal is coming up right here? We need this green signal right here to close. Once it closes, it's going to confirm the retracement pullback. And once we get that, this is pretty much what I did earlier for you guys. I mentioned price was going to come down, come back up, come back down. And that's where we're going to be looking to take our sell, right? So we need this buy signal here to close. We need that buy signal to close to confirm that price has retraced and pulled back. Once it's confirmed that, then we'll be looking for price to come back down. But in order for us to have entry, we need to have that retracement pullback. Until we get that, there's not going to be any entry for us there, at least not yet. Looking over here at the high-low scalp V2, there's no entry for us here. The closest level for the lows down here, it's pretty far down. So we need to establish new high lows before we get anywhere close to having any of those types of entries. All right, so if you guys took any of the liquidity pushes, all of them hit full TP already for today. Or at least these down here, these all hit full TP. Looks like price is attempting to climb back to open, but I don't know if it'll reach that high. So what I'll do here is I'll start marking up levels so that you guys can see market structure. All right, we got that right there. Another level right there. All right, so we got a couple levels right here. I'll update the levels when new levels are established, but as you guys can see right here, price is pretty much pulled back into this range. Right there. So one of two things will happen. Price will probably range around this area, or it'll break below and continue climbing back down, or it'll break above and continue climbing back up. A couple different scenarios here. I'll update the levels as new levels are established, but right now, this is pretty much all that we got at the moment. There's just not too much here for us to work with. As you can see, price isn't really doing too much at the moment. All right, so we finally got that buy signal. We're now looking for a sell signal. If we get a sell signal here, this is going to be a setup for the intraday scalp. That's the last strategy that we're testing right here. Basically, for the intraday scalp, we're looking for a momentum signal to match the trend meter below and the pivots. So looking at this here, price is obviously bearish with regard to trend. You can see prices below the pivots. Pivots are angling down. Red pivots across above all the other pivots. Lastly, the trend meter down below is red. So if we get a sell signal here, this will be an entry for the intraday scalp. If you guys are looking to take it, depending on how you want to apply it, you can base it off the ATR. ATR right now is currently 18, so it's kind of low. So if you wanted to do a 1-to-1 ATR, it'd be 18-18. If you guys wanted to do the original intraday scalp, it'd be 10-30. So it just depends on how you want to apply it. Again, we're going to test the strategy here. If it comes up, if and when it comes up, it needs to be valid though. So it can't be an invalid signal, meaning it has to have a red candle within the red signal. If it's a green candle within the red signal, it's going to be invalid and it's not going to meet criteria. However, we're going to use that as possibility for our momentum pullback scalp. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here, the next couple of moments. So let's see if there's anything else here for me to look at. I don't think there's any lows. There's one coming up, but hasn't established yet. Sorry, if you guys are looking to take the intraday scalp, this is the intraday scalp entry. The ATR is, or was at 19. So this is the intraday scalp right here, guys. I'm not looking to take this right here. Again, the only entries that I'm looking to take are the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So this strategy right here is just one that we're testing, and we're putting it in our spreadsheet to see if it's a strategy that we want to apply moving forward. They're just small variations to the strategy that we're already applying. The original strategy works fine, but this helps us kind of tighten the risk reward because all these strategies here are 1-to-1. So if you guys are looking to take the intraday scalp, this is the intraday scalp that we are testing. It's not an official strategy that we're taking because we're in the testing phase right now to see if it works good during these types of markets. Again, today's a bit of a tricky day because the volatility is a lot lower than it is normally. If you guys traded with me last week or the week before that, volatility was at like 20 to 30 ATR. It's currently at 19 right now, below 20, which is super low. And also like what Maddie mentioned, he said that it's also a Trap Tuesday today. So just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of things going on today that you guys want to keep in mind. I personally wouldn't take any risky trades today. The only entries I would look for would be the momentum pullback scalp, and then of course the high-low scalp V2 if it does come up. So this strategy right here is currently running right now, but again, I'm not in this position. We're just I have it for documentation purposes. However, we do have a setup coming up for a possible momentum pullback scalp. So in order for us to get a momentum pullback scalp, I need price to push down slightly, retrace up, and continue down. If we get that, then that would be an entry for a momentum pullback scalp. So I'll put the criteria up here for the momentum pullback scalp because that's actually one of the official strategies that we're looking at. Right over here. So that's what we're looking at. And then over here, we're looking at the high-low scalp V2. There's only two main strategies that we're looking at here. Maddie said we have news in about 4 minutes. Let me check the calendar real quick. Yeah, at 7 o'clock, we have the wholesale inventories month over month. It's not high impact news, but it is news in general. So we're going to go ahead and mark it up over here as well. Thanks, Maddie, for the heads up. News right here at 7 o'clock. Now it's kind of it's gonna overlap with our entry there. So if we're looking to take the entry for the high-low moment, or sorry, the momentum pullback scalp, it's gonna clash with the news event that's coming up right here at 7. So this is going to be a bit of an issue for us. I'm probably not going to take any entries until after the news event. However, the intraday scalp entry is still running right here, as you guys can see. So the intraday scalp looks like it's about to hit its TP. This right here would technically be the entry point for the momentum pullback scalp, as unfortunately it's too close to news, so I'm not looking to take it. If you guys are looking to take it, it'd be at this level right here at the 20. So you can see over here, we got a sell signal, price pushed down. This green candle right here retraced up, so the entry would be right here at the 20 mark. So the momentum pullback scalp is now currently running. There's two strategies running alongside of each other. There's the intraday scalp that's currently still running, and then there's also the momentum pullback scalp that's now currently running right here, right next to it. The only problem is that there's news right here at 7 o'clock. So I'm not looking to take any entries right now specifically, unfortunately. But this is a setup that we were looking for. So there's two entries running right next to each other. I'm not in any position right now because there's news right here at 7 o'clock. It's 6:58 right now, so it's about 2 minutes till news. I know it's low impact news, but I still wouldn't mess with it because it doesn't really matter whether it's high impact, low impact, medium impact. It's still news. So it's going to push price, you know, whether it pushes it heavily or not heavily, it's still going to push price in a direction. And I don't want to put myself at that risk, especially if I'm entering a position with a tight stop loss of like 250 pips. It's just too tight. If it pushes even a little bit against our direction, it's not going to be in our favor because we'll be in some massive drawdown, you know, as soon as the news event comes out. So it looks like price is pretty much flat right now. It's just waiting for news to come out right here at 7 o'clock. Not really too much going on. Both positions are currently in profit right now, it looks like, but I'm not in either position. So there's two positions that are currently running, the intraday scalp and then this one right here, the momentum pullback scalp. But again, we have news right here at 7 o'clock. So that's my cue to sit out until news is passed. We have another news event at 8 o'clock, but it's not exactly, we'll probably be done trading by then. This market is kind of hectic for today. I'm going to go ahead and mark that level right there for the high-low scalp V2. There's not really too much going on here. Let me go to the clean chart again, see if there's new levels. Yeah, no new levels right now at the moment. There's not really too much movement here either. If a buy signal here closes, technically we'd have to close out of this momentum pullback scalp for a small loss. If you're in the position, I'm not in the position, so I don't have any stake in any of these positions that are currently running. But again, this is why we don't trade near news, because you can see how the market's starting to move very irregular once we get closer to news right here at 7 o'clock. Even though it's a low impact news, it's still going to affect price regardless. So right here, if you were taking the momentum pullback scalp, you were supposed to pull out here for a small loss. So it'd be a small loss for about 160 pips, not a very big loss. And then it looks like the intraday scalp here didn't play through because of the news event. So guys, check this out. Let me just show you guys the example real quick. So this right here is exactly why we don't trade news, right? So I don't trade like 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after news usually. You guys can see that the news event here was a low impact news at 7 o'clock. It was neutral, but you can see how price still spiked up at 7 o'clock, right? So this is why I don't trade during news at all. It doesn't matter if it's a low impact, high impact, low impact, or medium impact. You guys can see that this candle here is a huge candle for a news event that wasn't supposed to really matter very much, right? You can see here it was consensus was negative 0.1. That's what actually came up. It was neutral news, but price still spiked up super heavily. Like compared to every other candle right here, this candle spiked up almost like 3 times every other candle for a low impact news event. So yeah, if you guys took it, unfortunately, well, I mean, I don't think anybody here took it. Well, most of you guys are good at listening, so hopefully nobody took that trade there. I'll put some news over here real quick. So let's see, there was news event overlapping entry on news. So 10, 10, 23. The entry came up at about like, we'll say 653. This was for it's for sell, loss, or 190. All right, so I'm kind of glad I sat out of a lot of these entries because you guys can see that the market's pretty much doing what we anticipated it to do. We anticipated the market to move very irregular and not really as smooth as it has been moving. And that's exactly what's been happening here. So let me go and take this off real quick. We have the news candle right here. You guys can see low impact news, neutral news, but it still spiked up super heavily. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right back down and just corrects back to where it was earlier. But that big push to the upside right there was based off of news, of course, at 7 o'clock. Yeah, exactly. William said, respect the news in your account. Yeah, he said it's great if it's TP, but he doesn't trade in your news. Yeah, I agree with you too, William. I don't ever trade during news. Sometimes I'll accidentally trade during news, but you guys can see, even though it's a low impact news event, it can still affect the market. So, all right, we'll see if price finds its way back to opening price up here. If not, I mean, that's perfectly fine. The trend here is starting to shift. You guys can see the pivots over here again. If price continues to climb up higher, we'll look for the pivots here to shift as well. So we're looking for this red pivot to cross below all the other pivots. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for here. We're waiting for this red pivot here to be below all the other ones. Once it's below all the other ones, we can start looking for a possible buy. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. I'll mark up the new level up there in case we start looking for a buy. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take here. Here is the clean chart. Let's mark up a couple more levels right here. I'll update these levels when we get closer to when new levels get produced up here. But you guys can see these levels pretty much just overlap. Price is still climbing on its way back up. Opening price is like up here. So I'll bring this to the front. Yeah, opening price is still up here. So if price does climb back up, target price point for it to reach would be opening price right there above. But again, there's just no direction right now. We got to wait for this trend here to shift. Once the trend here shifts, we'll start looking for a buy. But until then, we just got to sit tight and wait for some confirmation. Yeah, Daniel said it would be nice if it climbs past the previous higher high, gives us a high-low scalp V2 into liquidity. Yeah, so again, guys, if you look back at the liquidity chart over here, so I marked up liquidity here pre-market, right? Let me go and just make some updates over here real quick. So the next level of liquidity is going to be up here. So price does push back up higher to opening price. The target price point, once it hits opening price, so if it does reach opening price right here, if it reaches that point and continues to climb higher, the next level is going to be liquidity up here. Right? So it just keeps climbing up higher and higher to the next levels. First level is going to be opening price right there. Next level is going to be liquidity. So yeah, I agree with you too, Daniel. That's going to be ideal. So first target price point is going to be this blue line right here, which is opening price. Price is just stabilizing. It's restabilizing from open. As you can see over here on the clean chart. So market opened right here, right? Price pushed up. And then it dumped, like I mentioned earlier. I said price is probably going to do the opposite on open. And then now price is correcting all the way back up to where it was supposed to be. Right? So it's like basically this whole drop right here, this whole area right here never happened. Right? Let me see if there's like a square, or I'll just do this price. So this is where market opened right here, and you can see this big dump right here. This is basically like this never happened. So see how price came down to this area, and look where it's going back up to. It's going back up to this area right here. So it's like this never happened. This was just all manipulation on open, and price is going exactly back to where it was earlier. So this is a pattern. This pattern repeats itself a lot, like especially if there's something that crazy, like something that happens over the weekend, like a war breaks out, there's some crazy news event, something in politics happens. This is usually what happens on the first day of market. Yesterday was a holiday, so today's the actual official first day of market open. Yesterday banks were closed. I don't think it's a federal holiday. It used to be a federal holiday, but now it's just a national holiday, Columbus Day here in the US. So technically this is the first official market open day for the week. So you can see how price pushed up. If it gets back to this area, that's going to be the area of baseline. We like to consider this baseline because this is like the middle of price. And if you look over here at let's see, there's some breaking news over here. So you can see over here that the fundamentals are now green. They're back to where it was earlier. If you guys remembered on open, it was at 100. It's now back at 100. So we'll change that over here. Fundamentals are bullish, plus 100 points. Let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment changed 1%, so it's currently 55% long, still not very useful to us at the moment. So not much has changed there, still 55%. Looking back over here at the technicals, you can see everything's back to bullish. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. So looking at the trend, basically all of the timeframes over here with regard to the trend, it's pretty much back to being bullish. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay though. So just also keep that in mind. So there's a couple different scenarios here that can play out. Price will come back up to open right here. It's almost there. And price can continue climbing, right? That's going to be first scenario. The second scenario is price can come up to open right here, fake out, and then come right back down. So don't think that just because it reaches opening price here, it's going to stay up there, right? It doesn't necessarily have to stay up there. There's a possibility that it could stay up there, but there's no guarantee it's going to stay at that point. So the trend here is now starting to shift. So we'll probably start looking for some buys here. However, we have to confirm that price continues to stay up there or continues to climb up higher, because if it doesn't, price might just fake out and come right back down. So all right, so here we go. Price is back at opening price. Let's see if it continues to climb up higher or if it stays below. We currently have a higher high right here. So this point right here could be of use to us for the high-low scalp V2. One thing that I don't like is that the volatility is so low right now. So if anything, I'm probably going to adjust my stop loss and profit, if we do get into an entry right here, because 300 pips is kind of a big push. It's a long way to go for it to reach. Okay, so with the momentum pullback scalp, it's a bit overextended because we didn't get the confirmation of trend shift until now. It's currently pushed about 1,000 pips. However, if you're looking for an entry here, there's still opportunity to take entry here for the momentum pullback scalp if you guys are looking to take it. So I will mark it up right here, guys, for you if you guys are looking to take it. However, for me personally, I think I'm going to hold off a little bit because it is very overextended, as you guys can see. We measured it from this point here. Where is the measuring tool? Price range. Yeah, so you can see over here, price is pushed up at least 1,000 pips. It's a little too far out for me personally. So I'm not really looking to enter right here, but if you guys are looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, it would happen right here at the 10 mark. If this candle closes above this black line, it's going to be right here on the 10 mark. So if you guys are looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, it would happen right here. This is where the entry would happen. Again, I'm going to hold off on it for now for me personally, because I'm looking for the retracement to happen. Okay, so we have an opportunity here for the high-low scalp V2. You can see how price broke and closed past it right here. We're now going to look for price to kind of pull back a little bit, and then we'll be looking for continuation. Nice, Sisuk over here caught the momentum pullback scalp. Nice work, Sisuk. So we're basically looking for this candle here to break and close above it. If this green candle right here breaks and closes past this blue line right here, it's going to be a confirmation of a high-low scalp. But if we're looking for the V2, we're going to look for that to happen. Then we're going to look for the fake out, and then we're going to look for the continuation back to the upside. So, all right, we had the candle break and close past it right there. So we have the first step right here. First step is confirm the trend using the pivots. Obviously, we have a bullish trend here. Second, you want to confirm price break and close past the nearest high low. There's a high low right here. Price broke and closed past it. Step 3, confirm price fake out at the same high low within 5 candles. So we have about 5 candles for the fake out to happen. Right here, price is not faked out yet, but we have 1 candle right here. So we have about 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking for price to push up, come back down, and come back up. And when it comes back up like that, we're looking for our entry. It's basically the same setup as the momentum pullback scalp, except we're just looking for different entry criteria. So we have another level right there, 50, 60. Now it's just a waiting game, guys. So we're just looking for price to come back down. If you had price push up. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie mentioned that the market is overextended 1,400 pips. So like looking over here from this low up to this high, price pretty much is pushed up. Like Maddie mentioned, price is pushed up 1,400 pips. So it's due for retracement. So I'm looking for that fake out to happen here. I don't know if the fake out will happen, but if it does happen, we'll be waiting for it. I don't think there's any other high lows out here. Price is super far out now. Liquidity here just got hit, guys. So you guys see the target price point that I marked up right here? Liquidity finally got hit. So you guys saw the target price point marked up here for liquidity. Pretty much liquidity on both sides got hit. I marked up these levels pre-market. The lower level right here got hit, and the upper level right here got hit too. So they pretty much lined up. I don't know if anybody caught the liquidity here, but yeah, Vince said he identified it, but he didn't take it because price was overextended. Yeah, probably better decision right there, Vince. I wouldn't have taken it either if I would have seen it. Yeah, I don't think we'll get the fake out here, guys. So we have the first candle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. We have 2 candles until we can pretty much invalidate this. So it has to happen within the first 5 candles. If it doesn't happen within the first 5 candles, then there's definitely no entry there. There's technically another momentum pullback scalp that's setting up right here. It's not there yet. There's another one setting up right here. So we have a pullback right here. The entry would happen right here at the 50 mark. If anybody's looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, it would happen right here at the 50 mark. Again, price is extremely overextended, so I'm not looking to take it myself. If you guys are looking to take it, that'd be your entry right there. Yeah, right now it's super overextended. I definitely would not take any entries at this point now. This point would be kind of okay at the 1,000 mark, but now it's at 1,500 pips. almost 1,600 pips. It's too far out for me to want to take it. It's just too risky on my side. And I don't like taking risky trades. Yeah, Maria said it's risky for her. Daniel said, I guess it's going to push to the moon without me. I know, right, Daniel? I agree. Yeah, Daniel said, who's brave enough to take this overextended V1? Yeah, definitely not me. All right, so it looks like price here is going to, well, it looks like it's trying to stabilize here a bit, and it's going to range for a second. It's 7:16 right now, so we still have about like 30 to 40 minutes until 8 o'clock, guys. We still have a lot of time here, so there's no need to force anything if you guys haven't taken anything yet. You know, today's a good day to practice self-discipline, because I know there's a lot of opportunities here that look like they may be good entries, but for me personally, it's just not. It just doesn't feel right to take a trade right now because price is so overextended. Just another reminder, guys, we're having our mentoring session today. So if you guys want to review the high-low scalp V2, we'll be doing it. We'll cover some examples for the 1 minute and the 5 minute. So I think this would be a good time for you guys to regroup and understand the high-low scalp V2 strategy. All right, so the entry right here is currently running, guys. If you guys did take the momentum pullback scalp, price came down and filled it, and it looks like it's pushing up to TP right here. I'm not in this position, so again, it's not really, I don't have a stake in it. I'm just watching full TP right there. So if you guys took the momentum pullback scalp, another full TP right there, price pushed up, it retraced on this red candle right here, pushed back up, retraced back on this red candle, entry happened right here at the 50 mark, like I mentioned, and you can see right here, it went straight to full TP. So if you guys took the momentum pullback scalp, this is where it came up from, went straight to TP. Not a trade I would take personally because, I mean, obviously, you know, the reasons are pretty clear, overextended right here, but it did hit TP there. So again, if you guys wanted to take a risky entry, it would have worked out, played out full TP, but not one that I would personally take myself because of the overextension. I mean, price is still very overextended at this point, so I still wouldn't even touch any entries right now. It's overextended about 1,500 pips. That's pretty far for a low volatility day. So the overextension here is very high, and the ATR is currently at 19 or 17 actually. So the ATR actually died down quite a bit in the last couple of minutes or so. So, all right, guys, we just gotta wait for that retracement. So momentum pullback scalp right there, full TP. In order for us to have another entry, we need to have a retracement. So we need to have a sell signal come up here, retrace down, and then we need it to correct back up and continue climbing higher. So until we get that, there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. This right here is no longer useful to us. So you guys can see the high-low scalp V2, it didn't play through. Price came through right here and never retraced back to the fake out. So the thing here is we have another setup that might be coming up right here. We have another high right there, which is completely fine. If price can come down a little bit, that'd be great. Push back up, fake out, then continue back up. That's what we'd be looking for right here. So, all right, let's give it some time. As you guys can see, price is now consolidating around this area. Here is the clean chart. Let me see if there's new levels here for me to mark up. So you guys can see the levels here. Price is actually in a new range. You can see this new range right here. Right, if price does come back down, it might just range within this area right here. This market sucks today. I was hoping we'd get at least one entry and then just be on our way, but the market's just so unpredictable today. You guys can see this. So market opened right here at 6:30, came down, faked out, came back up, and it just made a huge climb right here. Price climbed up higher, and now it's flat, and now it's just back in range around this area. So yeah, I mean, I prefer to not be in the market when the market's moving like this. So I'm glad I'm not in anything. But if you guys did make profit today, I mean, you guys did pretty well. If you guys did make profit on a day like this. There's so many fake outs in both directions. If you guys chase the sell here, you could have easily gotten faked out right here, right? Blown out of the water. Again, right here, if you were chasing the buys, which, I wouldn't recommend, you could have made some money in between right here. Sorry. You could have made some money in between right here. But see how price got to this higher level? Now you could be screwed if price ends up coming back down. So it's just a very unusual market today. A lot of regular movements. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say unusual. Today is Trap Tuesday, so this is normal for Tuesday. We're also coming back from a long weekend, so there's just a lot of factors in the air. And for me personally, I wouldn't want to be stuck in any positions where I'm not sure where price is going. Like for example, right here, I don't know where price is going to go right now. It's kind of just lingering from where it's currently at. So if I draw a level right here, you can see that it's just currently in a range right now. All right, so let's see price. If price breaks and closes above this high right here, we're looking for another high-low scalp V2. So we need this candle to break and close past this level. Once it breaks and closes past that level, we'll look for price to fake out down back below and then a correction back up. There's no entry here for momentum pullback scalp because there's no pullback signal yet. So we need to have a sell signal and a new green momentum signal in order for us to have opportunity there for a momentum pullback scalp. So the only entry we're looking for here would be the high-low scalp V2. So we now have two levels right there. The main level we're focusing on is going to be the closest one though. So this one right here. The one below it. All right, let's see. I'm hoping the market picks up from now until like within the next 10 minutes. If the market doesn't pick up within the next 10 minutes, I would probably be very careful about taking any entries because you guys can see the volatility here is extremely low. It's extremely low for a fall season. If you guys can see it's back to 15, this is like summer market conditions, which is not a good sign. This strategy works well during high volatility market movements. Right now, it's not really having that. Like even this right here, this looks like market was volatile, but it wasn't. It had a slow climb. You can see each candle here was about like maybe 100 pips or so. It wasn't like a 300 pip push up, retracement, 300 pip push up. It's kind of like small candles here. If you measure these candles, this candle is about 2 points. That's 20 pips. This candle right here, which is considered a bigger candle, was 21 points, which is 200 pips, right? They're not huge candles. They look like a big move right here. Altogether, it's a big move, but it took about, let's see. So from this low right here to this point, it took about 25 minutes to push 1,000 pips, which is not very volatile. It's actually very low. So if you guys are looking to take this high-low scalp V2, I think the 300 pip move would be it'd be an overreach. Because for example, if you're going to enter the trade here, you need price to really push up pretty high for it to hit its TP. So again, if you guys are looking to take the entry here, I would watch it. If you want to, like say for example, price pushes up halfway, I would probably move your stop loss and profit because at this point, at least you guarantee profit and price can push up higher and hit its TP, or if it pulls back, you get pulled out for, basically break even or some small profit. It's just too, there's too much uncertainty with regards to like where price is likely to go moving forward over here. Yeah, Maddie said, I may be saving my capital for today. I don't like this market, especially the sideways movement up here. Yeah, I agree with you too, Maddie, 100%. That is exactly what I'm thinking too. Yeah, Sisu said, yeah, market is always weird when we get back from vacation, landing on a Trap Tuesday with a ton of news. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Sisu. All right, so the entry is coming up here. If the entry comes up, I'll mark it up and I'll probably take it for a partial move. I probably won't take it for the full move though, just an FYI guys, because the volatility is just extremely low right now. Yeah, if you guys traded with me last week, it was super high. It was at like 30 ATR. It's currently at 15 right now. It's way too low compared to what we're used to. And especially if our TP is 300 pips, that's going to take a lot of candles in order for us to get that move to the upside to actually reach our full TP. All right, so we actually got the retracement here. So with that retracement, we can look for another momentum pullback scalp. Let me see if I can get a couple more levels marked up right here real quick before we get to that point. 90, 400, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so if we get a buy signal right here, this may be setting up for the next opportunity for a momentum pullback scalp. Also, we're going back to our high-low scalp V2 candles over here. If this candle breaks and closes past the level right there, we may have an opportunity for, for entry. All right, cool. So price broke and closed past it right there. So again, guys, we're looking for that fake out. We need this candle to close above this line here. We're going to use a lower level. So we're going to use this level right here. All right, so we're looking for the fake out here. Price broke and closed past the structure. Looking for it to fake out and then come back up, and our entry would happen right there. But again, we're looking for that fake out. Back to the other chart over here. In order for us to have entry for the momentum pullback scalp, we need price to push up a bit higher, retrace, and continue. And our entry would happen right here at the 80 mark. All right, so I'll try to swing between these two guys. I'll try to mark up the entry if it does come up at some point. Yeah, Patricia said she's not liking this. Me neither. It's not really looking too smooth. There was a triple confluence right here. I don't know if anybody caught the triple confluence, but yeah, this candle over here broke and closed past the higher high right there. The second level that wasn't tested yet, and then it ended up going right through. So it was above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots were angling up. This candle here broke and closed past this higher high. That was a level that was untested. So if you guys are looking to take this as a triple confluence, there was a triple confluence that just came up right there. I didn't take the trade, of course, because I was looking for something else, but the triple confluence did come up. If you guys are familiar with that strategy, so you guys can see the list of my strategies right here. If you guys knew the triple confluence strategy, confirm overall bias, bullish. You can see over here, we had a valid buy signal, match the trend meter, which is green. It was above the pivots, broke and closed past this higher high. This right here was a triple confluence entry. So I didn't take the entry, but if you guys took it, played out. All right, back to our original setup. We're still looking for the original setup here that has not come up yet. There's no momentum pullback scalp here. You guys can see the volatility is extremely low. It's now below 15. So there wouldn't even be an entry here for the momentum pullback scalp. The minimum ATR for the momentum pullback scalp would be 15. Right here, it's currently at 14. So there's no entry for you guys to take here at all. I mean, it wouldn't matter because there wasn't an entry here to begin with. Price would need to push up a bit higher, retrace, and continue. And that's where the entry would happen. All right, back to the high-low scalp V2. I mean, there's still opportunity here for this. We had this candle break and close past it. We have 1, 2, 3 candles. If this comes back and closes below within the first 5 candles, basically within the next 2 candles, we still have opportunity here for the high-low scalp V2. Okay, so it's setting up right here. All right, so the entry right here is currently running, guys. If you guys are taking the high-low scalp V2, unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get in at the optimal entry. It happened too quickly. Price came up right here, it closed below, and the entry would have happened right there. So I wasn't able to get into the entry. I can probably still get in now, but let me see if I can maybe. Yeah, let me see if I can get in now. Where's price at? I mean, obviously I can't put a pending order at this point unless I wait a little bit. It's too close to entry point. So I wasn't able to get into it yet, guys. I'm gonna see if I can put a pending order there to catch it to swings back up. All right, got my pending order right there. Still hasn't filled me yet. Yeah, it happened too fast, like what Maddie mentioned. So I currently have my pending order right there, just waiting, guys. So if price swings back up, it'll fill me up. I'm not in the position yet. Happened like way too quickly. The ATR is also very low. So I might sit out of this because the thing is, this thing just might go sideways for like the next, 30 minutes to an hour, which is not exactly what we're looking for. We want this to go up right away and go straight to TP, right? That's like literally what we're looking for here. I wasn't able to get in the position. It happened too quickly. This candle right here closed, and then the entry, price pushed up and then now pulled back down. So I'm not in the position yet, guys. Still watching over here for this. If it pulls back any lower, I'm just going to cancel the order. There's just no point. The ATR is too low. And we'll see if it swings back up. If it swings back up, then I'll get filled. But if not, my pending order is still just waiting right here. And I'm like tempted to just cancel it now because it's just not really moving very much in our direction. All right, so let's see if it pushes back up. So I still have my pending order right here, just waiting. Looks like Maddie's gonna sit on it. Yeah, the ATR is just too low right now. So let's see if I can follow it here. It's weird for the ATR to be this low for, it's October 10th. I guess like a lot of people are just not in the market. Let's check the sentiment real quick. Sentiment actually changed a lot. You guys can see over here. Sentiment's currently at 52% long. So it was at 56% long or 57% this morning. It's now at 52, so it's pretty much straight neutral at the moment. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 157 points. Looking at the technicals, everything here is bullish. So, we still have a bullish bias for today. All right, my entry still didn't fill yet, guys. If it doesn't fill within the next couple minutes, so let's see, price broke down below here. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it doesn't fill on the 5th candle right here, I'm going to cancel it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. If this doesn't fill here or the next candle, I'm just going to cancel my pending order. I'll follow it for you guys, but again, like I was mentioning before, the volatility today is just not it. It's very slow right now. It's very low, actually. It's not really pushing on direction at all. It looks like my order might get filled, actually. So again, if it doesn't fill within this candle or the next one, I'm just going to cancel it. But I am watching it right here. Still hasn't filled. I got 1 candle left, guys. If it doesn't fill in this next candle, it hasn't filled for me yet. Okay, it looks like my order is now filled. I'm in the position. Just watching it right now as price pushes through. I didn't get in at a good entry point. So it looks like I got hit with some slippage there. It like filled it and it kind of moved me. Yeah, my entry was not good at all. So I gotta manually exit it when it reaches to that point. When it reaches, anywhere where I'm comfortable with. So it looks like my entry happened. Yeah, my entry sucked. I got hit with a lot of slippage right here, guys. My entry actually happened like up here. I don't know how that even happened, but my entry was right there, unless my numbers were off. I'm pretty sure my numbers were right, but my entry actually happened like up here, which is unfortunate. How many pips is that? About 50 pips, so like 5 points. I got kind of screwed right here. I don't know what happened with my slippage. It's on my FTMO, but that's pretty much where my entry point looks like where it happened at. All right, so I think I might just close out early this position, guys. I don't like my entry point right here, so I'll let it push up a little bit and let's pull out for a small profit. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. But again, I don't like my entry point. I got in for like way too far out right here. I don't know if the spread was super wide or there was just some slippage, but I'm looking at my MT4 and my entry is like way up here. So it's not looking good from where I'm at. So push it back up. I'm probably going to close out for a small profit. I'm just not really feeling this market. Volatility is very low, currently at 14 right now. Extremely low for fall market. This is like summer market conditions right here. All right, so let's see where we're at. Still watching it right here. There's no momentum pullback scalp right now. So you guys can see over here, there's no momentum pullback scalp because price needs to push above this level right here. So we need price to push up above this level, retracement, and continuation. Lowest level for entry here for the momentum pullback scalp would be at the 80 mark. Let's see. Barty said pending orders will have slippage every time because of the big lot size. I mean, I always use pending orders though. I've been using pending orders for like all the other entries, Barty. I never really had issues with them in the past. I mean, I did have issues with them in the past, but not by that far. It's a big difference. For MT4, it shouldn't have much of an issue. For Top Step, it does have an issue because with Top Step, it's filling separate contracts. Like they're like executing one at a time. If you're executing on MT4, they're slightly different. All right, so I'm in profit here. Let me see if I can pull out for a small profit. I'm not really looking to hold on to this for too long. See, price is pushing up right here. Maybe I just move my stop loss in profit. I'll let it push up a little more. Yeah, this volatility is too low right now. All right, price is pushing up right there. It's pushing up a little higher. A little higher from there. All right, I'm out, guys. I had to pull out of it. I don't like how it's moving right now. I got out for 1,000 profit. I'm good with that for today. This like market, the ATR is still super low. If you look at the ATR now, it's currently at 13. So I'm out, guys. I pulled out. It just wasn't worth it. In my opinion, I don't think it was worth it. I got in at such a crappy entry point right here. Like it actually pushed up pretty nice. So it pushed up right here about 120 pips. And then my entry point was right here. So I was only able to get out for like partial profit. I mean, it's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And it looks like it's gonna hit TP either way. It's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry on a day like this, because I'm not really comfortable with like how the market's currently moving. Usually for this entry here, when we take it, it goes straight to TP. It'll like fill and then just go straight to TP. Right here though, it just was not really like moving as smooth. And then on top of that, my entry was like way up here. So it's probably gonna hit TP, but I'm cool with what I got for today. I mean, I'm cool because this thing went into some massive drawdown right here. So I'd rather get some profit than that drawdown right there, especially with my kind of crappy entry right there. Actually, I didn't get in at this point. I got in right here and I did get some drawdown for a bit. So we'll continue climb. We'll continue watching it climb, and then we'll see if it hits. I mean, if not, it's completely fine. But I pulled out of this position for a small profit. Yeah, Nathan said he pulled out early too. William said he cut out at 130 for the day. He's all out, all in profit. CC got out at 100 pips. Marson took partial as well. So it looks like a lot of you guys here exited with me. Hopefully you guys did, because look how price is still moving. It's now back at entry point. So I pulled out for a small profit right there at about 150 pips or so. But it's all good. So I'm gonna go over here and just copy this real quick so that we can put this in our official trades, because for our official trades over here, these are the ones that I actually took. And since I only took a partial, I'll put that there for a partial. Let's go down over here to this. Hello Scout V2. 10, 10, 23. Entry happened at 7:34. I mean, technically the entry actually happened right here at like 7:30. So I'll put 7:30 for the actual entry. It was for a buy when I took it for only partial. So 150 pips. Right there. We still have to see if it finishes. So I still need to follow it to see if it finishes because we need to put this in our spreadsheet, like our actual spreadsheet over here. So we still got to put in our actual spreadsheet for the 10. But it's still like running. It's not really going anywhere just yet. Yeah, C6, it took too long for a scalp. And also, you know, the thing that I'm pretty sure everybody here has noticed, you know, we're scalping here. We're not intraday trading. If you end up holding on to this position for like more than 10 minutes, it is no longer a scalp. It turns into an intraday trade. So this trade ran for a long time. If you insert it exactly where it filled from right here, this trade technically was running for about like 10 minutes at that point. You know, that's where I started to feel uneasy about the position. It's no longer a scalp at that moment. It just continues to, you know, go back and forth. The reason for this is because the ATR, if you guys look at the ATR down below, right there, the ATR is currently 14. If our TP is 30 points and the ATR is currently at 14, this means that this thing is barely moving. So in order for us to have our TP, we need to have it closer to whatever that range would be, right? So I think maybe 2020 would probably be better. You know, if we went for 2020, we entered later over here like we did at that time, we would have pulled out. I probably should have shifted to a 2020 because the ATR was so low. But, you know, we're testing the strategy out, so we can't really mess with it. We got to leave it as is and let the trade run through. So it's just not really worth the risk. Were you guys asking what firms are you trading with, Sean? So I'm mainly trading with FTMO. So I still, you know, things have not changed. It's still FTMO. That's the only firm I've only recommended. I don't recommend any other ones to anybody else. I'm also trying out a couple other firms though. So I'm trying out Funded Engineer and TFF. You guys remembered how I had issues with TFF in the past. I still have issues with them now, but they're not as bad. So there's only one day where they gave me like negative profit and everything else positive, but I'm hoping that was just one time thing. So 1 second. Yeah, so I don't really have issues with TFF anymore. There's just one day where they gave me negative profit. So yeah, the main, again, guys, like the prop firm doesn't make the trader, right? If you guys can't pass FTMO, you guys are not going to do well on any other firms. Like it's just as simple as that, guys. Like I've been getting a lot of questions lately from a lot of people asking like what firm should they use or what firm I use. It doesn't really matter what I use. It just matters if you're like actually profitable at trading, right? Because you can use any prop firm out there. Obviously FTMO is going to be the gold standard, but depending on which one you guys want to use, it's not going to make a difference. If you can't pass FTMO, you're probably not going to pass any other prop firm, or even if you do pass, you know, you're not going to be consistent to like keep that funded account. So again, right here, guys, I'm glad we pulled out for the profit over here at like the 150 mark, because you can see that this strategy did not play out today because of the low ATR. You know, we might have to add a minimum ATR for this specific strategy because it's just not, you know, when the ATR is this low, which is not, it's not typically going to be this low. When the ATR is currently at like, I guess like, the cutoff might be around like 19, I think 19 or 18, because that's like decent volatility at least. But today it was at like 14. So it's even low enough to the point where we wouldn't even take the momentum pullback scalp. This entry didn't even come up here. So there wasn't even an entry for a momentum pullback scalp. But I think in the future, we might have to make some adjustments to our criteria here just to make accommodations for like the ATR, because the ATR is just extremely low. It was just too low today. So, all right, guys, one thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to update the spreadsheet. And then next, I'm going to post my profits. So that was a loss right there for the spreadsheet. However, it was a win for us because we pulled out early for partial profit. So For the spreadsheet here, that was the first loss for the strategy so far. Over here for my official trades, these are the trades I took for the week, for the month so far. I only took one trade today, took it for a partial profit. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of my profits real quick. And then I think we'll just wrap this up for the day, guys. It's 7:45. I'm not expecting any more trades to come in from now until then. So if there's anything you guys want me to cover, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to wrap this up for the day. Partial GP, high-low scalp for 150. And then I will take a screenshot of my profits right here. So yeah, guys, if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we are going to be having our group mentoring session for this week today at 2 p.m. So if you guys want to wait for the group mentoring session, you can wait then. That's going to be a better time to ask, more detailed questions. But if you guys have any basic questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat now, and we'll knock those out before we wrap this up for the day. All right, so here are my profits for the week so far. So unfortunately for TFF, I signed up for their original account, so it still has a time limit on it. And so here's a problem. The thing is, I got a 200K account because I didn't realize that they had a lot size cap. The lot size cap is at 100, so I'm taking 100 lots with this account, right? The big problem with that is that it makes it very difficult to pass the challenge because the profit goal is, I'm taking a smaller lot size on a 200K account. So unfortunately, they had to give me a free retry for my TFF account, and that's why the profits are going to be slightly different. So I just want to give you guys a heads up before you guys see that. So let me just put the little update over here real quick. I'll post it in our Discord. All right, so here are my profits so far. One of my accounts here, I technically had more profit, but I had to shift it over because they gave me a new login for my TFF because they gave me a free reset yesterday. I forgot that it overlapped, and it is what it is. So here are my profits for the day so far. This is my first account, my funded engineer. I locked in 470 on that account, 1,300 for the week. This is my first FTMO, locked in 430 for the week, 1,400. This is my second FTMO, 530. This is my account for the week, 1,500, 530 on the second account, same thing, 1,500 for the week. This is my 200K account, locked in 1,060 for the week so far, currently at 3,120. This is my second funded engineer account, locked in 230 for the week so far. I'm currently at 685. This is my personal account, locked in 135 for the week. I'm up 450. This is my first TFF. I locked in 366 for the week. I'm up 1,332. And then this is my second TFF. I got a reset on both of them basically, but this one I got the new reset today. It's going to be harder for me to pass my TFF because I'm taking a smaller lot size, but I'm going to have to work towards it. So I just got to keep taking these trades, and then hopefully we'll have a stride where we'll just have back-to-back wins, and then I'll pass the challenge right then and there. It's going to be hard because, obviously I'm taking half lot size, so I have to take double the trades to pass on these TFFs. So these are my profits for the day, my profits for the week so far, all wins. Took one trade yesterday, one trade today, partial. But the profits are pretty decent. So yeah, if there's any more profits that you guys have, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap this up for the day so far. I'll take individual screenshots of my profits later. I just don't have time right now because I'm on a time crunch. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll be back here at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So in about 6 hours, I'll be back here on this live to host our weekly mentoring session. So if you guys want to join in on that, feel free. I'll post an update in the group as we get closer to that time. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys back here in the next couple hours for the mentoring session. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise,